Good morning from the UK, where it's autumn. My name is Sally, and I'm a Qigong teacher. I am also a massage therapist, and I'd like to present this video on including a little bit of fascia work in our Qigong practice, which I'm sure if you're already a Qigong practitioner, you do anyway. Qigong is very good for the fascia. So let's first of all review the fascia. I invite you to do that. So maybe taking some space to close your eyes. Let's do a visualization. Feel the body coming into landing, if you like, in its own space. Maybe noticing the breath coming in and out without changing anything. Feeling the weight going down through the feet and the sitting bones if you're sitting. So I invite you to have a very simplified view of the fascia, this thing that is connective tissue. It wraps everything in our body. It's continuous. It is thicker in some places than others. And one image of it is that if everything melted, our muscles, our bones, then we would still be upright because the fascia is also our structure. For good movement, we need the fascia to be a little bit like a sheet of smooth cling film. I invite you to imagine that for a minute. Smooth cling film wrapping everything, our bones, our muscles, holding us together, but also facilitating smooth movement. Amazing stuff. If part of it is crinkled, like cling film, crunched up, scrunched up, then the body can still function and it gets on with it, but it's not moving optimally, perhaps we can say that. And it can be a tiny bit that's scrunched up. So I invite you just to image through your body again and find a place where there's some tension. It can be just a little bit of tension. And imagine that place as a scrunched up piece of cling film. And we'll just do a little bit of imaging with the breath. So imaging that or imagining that you're breathing into that place like you would inflate a balloon. So it's all kind of floppy and crinkly, and then the breath inflates it. And then you let go. So that when you come to inflate it again with the in-breath, maybe some of the crinkles have gone and you let go. I'll just leave you to do that one more time. And then just breathing normally, perhaps for a few breaths. And bringing back that image of the fascia as cling film running through the body, wrapping everything. Seeing how else you might perhaps smooth it out. Perhaps when we shake out a piece of crumpled up material, that might be an image to use. So shaking might help it. How would massage help it? Or rolling a tennis ball over it, how would that? And you might have other things that come to mind, bouncing it. So I'm going to say some words. You're really welcome to stay with the image and the breath and the weight through the body. So Qigong in and of itself moves the fascia. It's good for the fascia. One of the things that's good. But with our intention and with a slight adaptation, we can make it, if you like, fascia focused. So we can do Qigong. We can just make it a little bit focused on this particular beautiful connective tissue. And for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to show two moves. I'm going to show two examples, but there are many. There are many, many, and I hope that you will take from this and explore ways to add to your practice, or if you're a beginner, to start to think about how we can use our Qigong for our own benefits. With time management as well. There's only so much we can do. We go to the gym, we lift weights, we jog. You know, if we can add a bit of fascia work into something else, that's all good as far as I'm concerned. So I invite you to stand up if you're not already doing so. I will instruct you at some point to make suction cups of the hands and the feet. And I'll instruct you with the feet. With the hands, it just means that they go like a bit like lion's paws. I guess they're like this. Like those things that if you've got a blocked drain, you put it over the plug and pull them out. They're like that. And then when I say and tense the whole body, that's not like rigid. It's like you push. You could imagine that you're surrounded with a balloon or a fabric, and you're just pushing against it. Or if your hands are like suction cups, it's a little bit more exaggerated. That kind of thing. And I invite you to play around with it. Come into the standing position and stand easy, sometimes called standing like a tree, Wei Chi. And let's focus on the feet for a minute. Press the big toe down. Press the outside edge of the foot down from toe to heel. Ensure that the weight is equally down through the toes and the heels, the front part of the sole of the foot and the back part of the sole of the foot. I should have probably said this before, but just make sure that your feet are parallel or even just a little bit turning in towards each other. So if they're not, then adjust that and go again. Press the big toe down, outside edge of the feet down, equal weight. And then at the same time as all of that, feel as if you're pressing the knees outwards. Just leave you to get that for a minute. Big toe down, knees pressing outwards. If that's comfortable for you. And holding it if it's comfortable for you. If not, let go. And then softening the tailbone, so the tailbone comes under a little bit and down, and the rest of the spine elongating upwards, top of the head to the sky, chin down a little bit, some space between the arms and the sides of the body. In that position, let's do the starting movement for Tai Chi Qigong Shibashi One, the 18 movements of Qigong, a very basic Qigong form. So keeping the feet like that, suction cups on the earth, or letting it go if it's not comfortable, keeping the knees slightly out or letting it go. Let's take a natural in-breath and let the arms come up. And then a natural out-breath and let the arms come down. And let's just do this by way of settling into the practice. This is the first movement of Shibashi One. And then let your hands be like suction cups, but with no tension. So they're in that kind of claw position. Let's go into the second movement of Shibashi One. So that the hands come up, they come away from each other, they go towards each other and down. If you wish to add the breathing, following the in-breath as your hands come up and away, following your out-breath as they go back together and down. Let's do that for some time, for some moments. And then we can add an image here to get some tonus. So as your hands come up, they're floating to the top of the body of water. As they come away, they're pushing the water away. And then as they're coming back together again, the palms are pushing water together. If you can imagine that. If I invite you to imagine that you're standing in a beautiful swimming pool or sea, and you can do all that with water, pushing it away, pushing it together. So already you've got a little bit of tonus. It's not just passive movement. With that imaging comes a little bit of tonus. So that already works the fascia a bit. Okay, so now if you need to, give yourself a little bit of a shake out. So don't be rigid about any of it. And if you're okay and soft, then just staying in that position. Find the feet position again, big toes down, outside edges of the feet down, knees away, that way, big toes down, knees away, that way. And then taking the hands up once more to this position of the second movement of Shibashi One, where the hands are facing each other and they are like suction cups, like we did earlier. And then making everything a little bit more exaggerated, as if, as I said, you kind of pushing against something that's surrounding you, or you're exaggerating this suction cup movement in the feet and the hands. You could be slightly tensing the muscles of the spine, not too rigidly, but it's just a pushing, if you like, pushing and a pulling. Definitely your knees are going out sideways, but your big toe is pressed down into the earth. And then take an in-breath and hold it if it's comfortable for you. Keep pushing, pushing, hold the in-breath in. If it's too much, let it go. And visualize the fascia again. And visualize the place where it was scrunched up in you, like you're a big balloon full of air and smoothed out on the surface. Feel it all smooth out. And then let it go. And just stand easy. And notice. So slow and notice what's happening in the body. And maybe just do one more of these movements and see if there's any difference. Subtle, it might be subtle, but see if there's any difference to your movement now. Okay. So that was a little bit of fascia work put into the Qigong movement. So we would just, if we were doing it in a form, we would just carry on until we got to somewhere else where we wanted to do something which in Qigong it's called path standing. So it's staying in the same position. Let's do another example. So spiral Qigong is a 10 movement form, mostly done for immunity in Chinese medicine. And here's the opening movement. So once again, we take the suction cup feet, toes pressed down, outside edges of the foot, and a little bit of suction cup hands, so they're a bit curled in, the fingers, etc. And all we're doing is turning the hands this way and that way. Okay, I'm going to come a bit closer. So the palms come forward, let's say on the in-breath. The palms come back and a bit. So they are twisting. There's a softness to the movement, but also there's a bit here where you're opening a bit more. So it's like squeezing a flannel out. And then again, it's like goes a bit more. So it's squeezing a flannel out. You might feel as if the flesh is moving over the bones. So this is already working the fascia. Just make everything a little bit more tense now, but keep moving. So suction cups for feet, knees going out sideways, suction cups for hands. And then let's just hold it here. So as your hands come to the extreme position forwards, yeah, everything else is as it was, top of head to sky, and just breathe in and hold it. Once again, feeling like you are a balloon that's just been blown up. So the surface of you and the inside of you is all smooth. Locate the bits that were crinkly before, feel them smooth out. If you need to let go of the breath, please do. Please don't force anything. If you can hold it a bit longer, all good. And then let it go. If you were doing fascia work, you would repeat that some time, and you can do that if you get into this and like it. Repeat it a few times. But for our purposes, because it is a Qigong form, just carry on doing the Qigong. And once again, just feel any subtle difference. You might be warmer, it might just be everything feels smoother or more expanded. Great. So again, if you're a practitioner and are doing fascia work and aware of the fascia work, I really invite you to explore every Qigong movement like that. We can always hold it. Here's, I'll just show you a brief example. We can always hold it and exaggerate and feel how that shape of you can be smoothed out and maybe benefited, expanded and given more space. Thank you for watching.